What is happening, Magnus? Just getting ready to do another reaction to the boys, and I thought of something new. So, for those of you not familiar with this whole series, just make sure you look up 40-year-old man Chronicles. Yes. See that? This is what it's all about, too. This is exactly what it's all about. I haven't done one in a few weeks. By the way, I'm still fasting. It's just going so slow that I haven't felt like doing an update video. But I'm coming down and down and down. I'll be in the teens pretty soon, but I'll probably do a big unveil or do a couple of videos like when I'm close to stopping the fast. So anyway, what the hell was I gonna say? Yeah, that's what this is all about. So I never really had a problem with my memory. As a matter of fact, I'm the guy people say, "You remember that?" Yes, I remember a whole lot. Talk to Scarlo about that. I remember stuff she doesn't even remember. We haven't even been together that long. I'm like, babe, you don't remember me telling you that. You don't remember this, you don't remember that. Now, I do have selective memory sometimes, but I'm starting to have like Joe Biden moments. Okay, this just happened within the past, actually stopped within the past couple of years, but it started around 2018 when I started to have anxiety issues. I started to have panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and I was under a real high amount of stress. And I noticed that when I would have discussions with people, I couldn't think of stuff that I was going to say. You know, when you talk, I used to have a manager in the car business. He used to say, I'm having a senior moment. Hold on. Oh yeah. And then he would say what he was going to say. But I would have these moments and I couldn't remember at all. And I'd remember a few minutes later, maybe an hour later, maybe a few hours later, maybe the next day, I remember exactly what I was going to say in a particular conversation with somebody. So I found out in my particular situation that high amounts of stress can cause you to forget stuff, for your memory to be cloudy. Also, for you to be slow in thought. You can't think of things that you wanted to discuss with people or bring up in a discussion. And I was thinking about Biden before I thought about doing this because like I was thinking about him and Trump, and I was just thinking about the whole dynamic between the two and how funny Trump is, whether you like him or not. Just things I agree with him on, things I don't agree with him on. But I think he's funny as hell. But there's Biden, who I do think is funny, and I agree with some of his stuff. Some stuff I don't agree with. But the whole thing with him is that, like, his is more, the way he is more worrisome with that whole thing. Like not comparing his mindset to Trump, but I'm talking about how he's older and there's stuff he can't remember. There's all these clips going around the internet of him like stumbling on speeches and not being able to remember stuff and just anyway, man, you know what I mean? Just going on to other things. I'm just like, kind of I wasn't having stuff like that, but I was thinking about the whole thing about how they say if you look at a guy when he's elected president and when he leaves the office, how much he's aged. Because the amount of stress that the president is under is tremendous. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with Joe Biden's memory problems and stuff like that. I'm sure maybe some of it's your age or something like that. But after speaking to my physician, he told me it can be a few things. And this list I'm about to give you is not the complete list. But he told me stress can do it. Stress can totally mess with your memory and, how your judgment and how you speak and just all that stuff, the way you can't remember things and your mind's jumbled, your thoughts are jumbled. Stress can do it. Another one is chemicals. The chemicals in a lot of these foods. From junk food to other food. There's all types of foods out there have these chemicals in it that can mess with your mind. And from what I've read in certain studies, it can start to give you stuff like dementia and Alzheimer's. So a lot of times people are, the brain is fatty, and fat holds chemicals easier than stuff like muscles. So you can have a lot of chemicals in your head and you just can't think straight. Whenever I do a fast, I read faster, I think faster, I talk faster. Everything is faster, except for one thing, ladies. Ha 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 ha. So there's so there's a clearing of chemicals out of my body, and fasting, repairs nerve cells and all type of things. So anyway, so there's that. Fungus. If you've ever heard of Candida albicans, if you've ever heard of people having a yeast infection or Candida overgrowth, it's a fungus, it's a yeast in the body, and it overgrows. And I've read that it literally can mimic hundreds of other symptoms of other diseases. But one of them is the cloudy mind, the foggy mind, the foggy memory. You know what I mean? The senior moments. I can't think. Even depression, it can make you feel bad. So some of you are walking around there with yeast infections in your head and don't even know it. Yeast infections in your gut, in your body, you don't even know it. Yeah. So I'm just giving you those three. For mental fog. This is probably under the umbrella of mental fog. But yeah, it's not fun when you're this age. Some of you, I talk about this. It's like, anywhere from like your mid 30s, late 30s to early 40s to mid 40s. These things start to happen, and you're talking to people, and you're like, wait, what was I going to say? Damn! It's like, it happens so many times with me and her. I'm like, damn, I was just about to say something. As a matter of fact, she knows when I have certain things lined up in my mind. I guess from the way I'm talking, she was like, no, you go ahead. Like, I'll be like, what's you going to say? And then she'll be like, no, you say what you're going to say, because I can tell you got something else you want to tell me, and I don't want you to forget. You know what I mean? She does that. So for all you foggy mind some bitches out there, make sure you reduce your stress. Make sure you start eating cleaner food and fasting and detoxifying yourself. And make sure you get rid of them fungal infections. Find out if you got a candida problem. Lack of sleep can do it too. You guys aren't sleeping properly? Lack of sleep. Make sure you're getting your sleep. There's a lot of stuff out there that can mess with people's minds, man. So, there's my rant for today for all the 40-year-old men and more or less who are dealing with the same problems. Talked about the problems and I gave you some solutions. But, you ain't got to listen to me. This is advice, and you can, of course, speak to your physicians, because I ain't no physician. I'm just a guy giving anecdotal thoughts and stuff and telling you about studies and professionals that I've talked to. So, there you go. And I'll see y'all in the next one. 10 million subscribers. Woo!